Hey, good evening, everyone. Today, got a little bit different. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. It was a very impromptu day, but it was an amazing day, I might add. If you did not see my video yet with Sherelle from Sherelle's World, you need to check it out. It is kind of an all over the place. She is an amazing vlogger. She covers a lot of stuff related to the housewives, and she has like inside connections and has relationships with so many of these women. And so today she and I collaborated and I got her caught up on all things Teen Mom, and she got me caught up on all things housewives. And it was such a fun experience. She'll actually be uploading the video onto her channel later tonight, and I can't wait for more. We're gonna actually do another collaboration next week. She wants to talk about sister wives, and I can't wait. It's actually fun for you guys, I think, to do stuff like that because we get to show you both the awesomeness of women working together and empowering one another, which is really what I am all about. And she is absolutely hilarious. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you haven't watched it, make sure you do. Okay, so while I was taping, because we pre-recorded today, our collab with Sherelle, things were getting crazy on Instagram Live. I mean, whoa. So if you watch Unexpected, you know that Kailyn and McKayla are literally all over the place, like all the time. 1 minute she's like absolutely in love with him. I mean, she has been nonstop on YouTube uploading videos of like cutting my boyfriend's hair, surprising my boyfriend, watching my boyfriend do this. My boyfriend and I talk about medical THC. My boyfriend and I, like all this kind of stuff, right? She's like 1 minute super lovey-dovey, the next minute she absolutely hates him. And poor suffering Kailyn just seems to go with the flow and tries to keep things going. She changes her mind like normal people change their underwear. I mean, even more than that. More change like a baby changes a diaper. I mean, that's how frequently I swear she changes her mind about this man. So today on Instagram, things got crazy. So Kailyn goes live on Instagram and he starts talking about everything with their relationship. And I'll show you a little bit of a clip. I'll show you some parts of it. But the skinny is that Kailyn says, okay, so McKayla goes on live and she says, yeah, I just like broke up with him because I was just sort of done. I was just like really unhappy. And, I like broke up with him for like a couple hours and then he convinced me to stay and then we were fine for a little bit, but then I was just like, I'm not happy. So then I broke up with him and now I'm just like not gonna let him see the kids, and I had to pay for everything, like totally everything, like all the bills, and like he didn't change and he lied to me, and so I just decided to leave. And while she's on live, Timmy literally like throws a book at her 1-year-old and she's just like, whatever. And then she pops like a pacifier in Graceland's mouth. And like, she's just indifferent. And she's like, whatever, I'm just unhappy, Okay, yeah. So anyway, we know that she has a long history of issues because of her mom basically like ditching out on her because of her own actions and addictions. And McKayla's highly overwhelmed, and apparently, according to Shelley, alcoholic grandparents raised her and they have set no limits, have turned her into an entitled monster, and as Shelley would say, a broken girl. And apparently, I didn't even know this, her grandfather, Tim, was arrested in 2018 and got a domestic battery for like choking her brother, Dylan. Yeah, that happened. So apparently Grandpa and Grandma are kind of a mess, and they always are picking up her messes and getting in the middle of things. And then Grandpa was like going to come over there and try to push Kailyn out of the house. So Kailyn then goes live and he starts fighting with Dylan, McKayla's brother. This is what happens. I'll show you right now. Hold on. I'll show you part of it. I'm not going to show you the fighting because their fighting back and forth gets really vulgar. But
it's all, I make everything bad about McKayla. Apparently I do. That's why if it was all about feel bad for Kailyn and all about everything I do, then if I totally fucking pin everything on McKayla, why would I still be here to this day? Why would I still care about her? That's fine. She's just upset because she worked so hard to get to where she is right now, to just throw it away. She worked so hard to prove to you and to everybody else in this family and our family that she is literally a good girl, that she was trying to make things right. She proved it to everybody that she changed. And now that she fucked it all up, she doesn't want everybody to know the truth. She doesn't want anybody to know the truth. That's why it's always been lies. And it always will be lies. It always will be lies. So... Listen, so the whole fucking thing is we had DNA testing supposed to be done because McKayla, when she was keeping me from the kids, I took her to court as the right thing as a father. It killed me for 9 months to not see my children, for her to block me on everything, including her grandparents' phone, her brother's phone, everybody in her family. She would take their phone and block me, and they would all say that I never tried to communicate. I never tried to see my children. I still have all the texts to this day. I begged and begged and begged through block messages. I tried calling. Everybody would not let me see those kids. And then she comes around and says, I'm going to give you shared custody. I was wrong. I should have never done that. I was trying to please my grandparents, being with Josh, blah, 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 blah. Literally, and then she fucking says she's going to give me shared custody. The court said that we had to do a DNA test to make sure that the kids were mine before they would give me shared custody. They don't want to give me custody of a child that's not mine. We were supposed to do the testing. I'm laid off right now. I just got a new job working for the railroad. It's cold. I was about to get money. McKayla said she would pay for it ahead of time because it was $400 some. There you go, since I got to tell the whole story for Dylan. And literally, then she says, it's your fucking problem. You took me to court, figure it out on yourself. And that was when she was having shitty attitudes with me for literally no reason, whether nobody believes it or not. So then, she gets all upset because I start bringing up, you spend more than that on medical marijuana, you spend more than that on tattoos, you spend more than that on hair stuff. This is about our kids, this is about doing what's right in case we ever break up again. And she just said no. That date goes by. That was literally the 27th. So yesterday, she dumps me right after we were supposed to do the DNA testing. And she tells her counselor, her new counselor that she's been seeing. We were seeing another counselor together, couples counseling. She sees a new counselor, wants me to step out of the room. I step out of the room. She comes out to the car saying that I'm gaslighting her up. The counselor says that I'm what's bad for her, that I don't need to be with her anymore. And I said, what are you talking about? And she's saying I make her crazy by telling her what's wrong with her. I'm not making her crazy. This girl literally cries to me saying, I need help, I'm lost, my grandparents don't love me, I feel like everyone's going to abandon me, like all of that shit. So me as a person who loves and cares about her is going to be like, let's figure out what's wrong, like I care about you. How else am I supposed to feel when you don't tell me your feelings? She doesn't tell me her feelings. She'll lock herself in the bathroom and shut the door, and I'll go in there and she won't say anything. I'm like, please tell me what's going on, please. Like, I want to help you. And then I'm made out to be this bad person. Her brother, I've literally stuck up for multiple times. He's been choked out. I've been choked out by her grandpa. Her grandpa came over here already threatening me to get out of the house, and that if I don't, then I'm going to be out of here the hard way. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, I really don't understand it. She hurts everybody in my family, including our kids. She won't let me see my kids. They've been living in this house for months. It's only right for them to, it's not right for them to keep going through this, for them to keep seeing this. Gracelyn cries for me every single day she wakes up. Dad, 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 dad. You know how hard that's going to be for me? To literally not be around her every day I wake up? Like, to not be with her? Like, there's literally days where McKayla's, like, rocking. Like, she's so tired she can't even put them to sleep. Like, she's literally trying to rock them to sleep. She's so tired she freaks the fuck out, like, and everything, and it scares me. Like, she's a good mom, she really is, but there's certain things that she can't do. What?
As a first birthday, and she can't get out of her own way to think more about her
And literally,
daughter.
just because I go on Instagram Live explaining like what's going on and how I feel, which the only reason I feel like I have to go on an Instagram Live and explain what's going on is because every time that this happens, I am made to be the bad person. People tell me I should kill myself because I'm a horrible father. Like,
Can't help it. I know it's not right, but she cannot help it. And you know how to love. She don't know how to love.
yeah, literally the one day she hated Domino, and then my mom watched her. She begged me to go get him. She's like, I miss him so much. I want him. She didn't even want him here in the first place. She didn't even want Domino.
She wants everything she can't have. Honey, she's going through a lot, and she
Right, Mom, but it's still, let her go through a lot, and we're sorry that she is, but there is absolutely no reason
What more can we do?
to not let us see that baby.
And there's absolutely no reason to literally go,
Okay, so as you hear, she and him are fighting. He says they've gone to couples counseling. He says they've gone to counseling. He says they're trying to work things out. He says that she just flips out and like one day decides that they're over and she doesn't want to be with him and she's using the kids like she had before. When they got back together this fall, she literally admitted in a YouTube video that she was vindictive and kept the kids away from Kailyn to punish him. Now she's telling Kailyn he can't see his kids because she doesn't want to let him. She wants to kick him out of his apartment that he's on the lease for and then blasts all of his stuff related to payment. But he says, I was out of work for a few months. Now I have a job. We need to get this court stuff figured out. He says, we have this court case going on. The court's requiring us to do this DNA test. By the court's request, the mother is typically responsible for paying for the DNA test. That's just how it works. And then if he is the father, then he can reimburse the court for that expense. And in some custody cases, the court will actually pay for the paternity test. He says she freaks out, which makes him feel like maybe one of the kids isn't his. They break up. Now she's withholding the children. They end up having to call the cops because she won't let them see the kids. And then her brother posts this, a photo outside of their house, which thankfully I want to acknowledge that one of my subscribers sent these to me. Thank you so much. On Twitter, and he said, so down with this shit. And then Dylan wrote this, Kailyn, you really effed up this time, my guy. I wasn't going to pop off on live, but you ain't finna come to my family like that. Don't even get me started on the trap house you were running last year. You do this SHIT every time y'all break up, and I'm not about to deal with it anymore. It's always poor Kailyn. You can't just deal with this crap on your own. You resort to social media every single time and have everyone come at my sister. Y'all were never meant to be with each other. It's in the first place. So why not just leave it at that? Like, no wonder my sister thought she was going crazy. I didn't think that she was going crazy. McKayla's literally on Instagram and on YouTube for the last 3 months talking about what a great guy Kailyn is. And she's the one that admitted that she was withholding her kids from him because she was being vindictive. She's also the one that has admitted that she has a lot of issues because her mother, abandoned her and she had to be raised by her grandparents. And then what I didn't show you is Shelly basically saying that Grandma and Grandpa are alcoholics and constantly drunk, and Grandpa has a temper and likes to beat them up. And Shelly also told Dylan that apparently McKayla, when she wasn't flipping out on Kailyn, told Shelly only a few weeks ago that she wanted to just cut her grandparents out of her life because she didn't want to deal with them anymore. So Kailyn says that she has a personality disorder. I don't know what. Some people on my Instagram were saying that she has bipolar. I'm not sure. Given the fact that she has a lot of things that happened in her childhood, it would make sense if what Kailyn is saying is right, that she does have a personality disorder. I wouldn't be surprised. She could, which is, I think, like borderline, they do a thing where they called splitting, where it's like 1 minute they love you and the next minute they hate you. It's intensity, very intense, and that's kind of how she's acting. And then she's acting very indifferent. On her Instagram Live, she's like, whatever. He can say whatever he wants. I'm not going to let him see the kids. And she's telling him that he can see the kids next in court. So she's mad that she's the only one that was paying the bills, even though previously he was the only one that was working. And that's typically how it sometimes goes when you're in a relationship. And she's going on and on and on about all the bills she's paying. These two are both very young, both very immature. Neither one of them had to do this. But I don't agree with what Dylan said about how Kailyn has to always go on social media, because McKayla has consistently used social media as a tool to get back at Kailyn. And I actually kind of side with Kailyn on this one. I don't typically take sides in these situations, but I will say he had a right to do this because he knew it was coming. She has used her public platform, and it's bigger than his, to make him look bad. And it's not a mistake that all of these fans that are watching him are supporting him, and then when people are on her Instagram Live, they're telling her that she's being a brat. This is a pattern for her, and she needs help. They are way too much. They're always back and forth. It's always constant. It's always bickering. You guys are so right. And you know who's the real victims in this? The kids. Because in the middle of this chaos, Kailyn did say something that was really telling for me, is that the kids are bouncing around so much, right? They're literally, she lives with Kailyn for a couple months, and then she gets irritated, probably because he doesn't do everything for her like her grandparents do, and then she moves the kids out. He says she leaves, doesn't take any clothes, doesn't take diapers, doesn't take anything. They're over at her grandparents with nothing, and she's relying on grandma and grandpa to buy them diapers and clothes, and they'll just do everything for her because that's what they do. She's the kind of person that is so afraid of being abandoned that she'll just screw everything up in her life so that she isn't abandoned. And then she becomes the one abandoning everyone else, and then the kids become the collateral damage. And apparently, Shelly said on the Instagram that they have court in 2 weeks. So thankfully, they did not drop their paternity case. They continued forward with that because Kailyn did say that he told her he wasn't going to drop it in the event that they did break up again. So they have court in 2 weeks. Apparently, Shelly says she has forwarded everything that McKayla is doing right now to the attorneys. And her attorney, Shelly said on Instagram Live, our attorney said she's digging her grave right now, and this will all work in your favor. People in Kailyn's were like, you need to get custody. You need to take care of these kids. She's unstable. I don't know what the best plan of action is, but clearly, and then he also showed, this is the other crazy thing. As soon as she's deleted every single photo of him on Instagram, then they have each other's passwords for Instagram. He logs into her Instagram, and she's texting messages to other guys trying to get hookups, literally within hours of them breaking up. And he posted them. And it's I feel like she thinks that the only thing is, I'm not happy, so I have to move on. And then I'm not happy doing this, and I'm not happy doing that, and I'm not happy doing this. And all she's doing is running from herself, and she has 2 kids. She's 20 years old. All she does is she impulsively spends her money on tattoos. She has literally dyed her hair 3 times in the last week. She went from she tried to bleach her hair. That didn't work. Then she went purple. Today, her hair was black. Something is going on with her. And I do think she needs help. And I think Kailyn has probably done everything that he can to try to help her. And I do think that Shelly has also tried to help her as well. And unfortunately, I think because her grandparents are enabling her, she'll never get the help that she needs because nobody in her life sets appropriate boundaries for her, and she never has consequences. And the kids are the ones that are going to suffer. So hopefully when things get sorted out with the court, Kailyn does get official custody or official custody agreements. The paternity is determined and everything works out. It is interesting, though, that she said she didn't want to pay for it because, she had paid for everything else lately, so why would she pay for paternity for her kids? To me, that doesn't sound like she cares. That, to me, sounds like she doesn't want him to get custody And it's, again, a tool for her to use the children as pawns. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Kids are not pawns, and kids are not our property. And kids need parents. And these kids have a father that love them, that care for them, and want to be with him. And when you withhold children from their parent that loves them, it's actually a form of child abuse. And Shelley said that. It's called parental alienation. So tell me what your thoughts are. I wonder what happened when the police came. People were telling them to get an emergency order, which can't happen because they don't have a paternity test. And it sucks in most states, if you are not married when you have a baby, paternity is never assumed and the custody is always 100% with the mother. So Kailyn at this point has absolutely no rights. So I hope this keeps going, but we'll see how McKayla acts now. I can't wait for her new YouTube. Wasn't it just last week they were literally asking for $5,000 so you could buy them a minivan? Oh, that's right, they were. And today they're broken up. Young love, young dysfunctional love. Tell me what your thoughts are. Love your coverage and commentary, sister wives. Thank you. Thanks, Pilot Pete. All right, so before we go, make sure if you haven't, give this video a thumbs up. And also, before we go, if you haven't yet, check out my collab with Sherelle from Sherelle's World. She is phenomenal and super funny. I am so excited to have another woman in my corner to do stuff with. And you guys, please, will you check out my content around The Bachelor? Even if you don't watch The Bachelor, I swear to God, my Bachelor video I did today is pretty hysterical. I was on point, and if you like my snark, even if you don't like this show, you will love my commentary. I swear. It'll make you die laughing. That's what everyone told me. All right, you guys, bear with me as I add new content. I will continue to deliver all of these things to you and more. All right, you guys, I'll be back later.